Yo, JD here, Toolless, and as you can see, we are going to be talking about assists versus no assists here today, and I'll be doing two tracks, basically demonstrating how I feel the difference is, and obviously giving you a visual representation in terms of lap time and how the car actually is on this. But for the first lap, this is going to be with no assists. Around China, we're using a complete default setup on the hard tyres or medium tyres, not using DRS, and I put quite a few laps into this just to do as best as I can to really show you two equal laps. I feel two equally driven, really good laps on both no assists and assists, just to try and give you the best representation. Obviously take note of the throttle and the braking, worm braking and stuff as well, so a little bit of trail braking there, going on the throttle. Pretty cautious, not until we get halfway through third gear until we actually get on the full throttle through there. So the next lap you'll be able to see after this will be with assists, and it will be with medium traction control, because full traction control, I actually tried it, it's definitely slower. It just doesn't pick up the revs quick enough. It's just too slow off corners, and I'm about half a second slower with the full traction, so I didn't test that any more than what I needed to do, because it's just not quicker. But with ABS on, you'll be able to see and see the throttle here just as we get into fourth gear. Really, that's when we go on the full throttle, so quite late again. With ABS on, I felt that was the biggest thing for me. I felt you could brake 10 to 20 meters at times later than what I could do with it. So you can see there we're braking with the medium tyres with fuel about 145 meters, 140 meters out from that corner there, and you'll be able to see a lap time. Hopefully, I haven't said the sectors, but you could see the sector times what we were doing. I think it was a 0.3 first sector on my lap, and we've done a 39, I believe, if I'm reading right, 38.7. Sorry, my screen's quite small here. So that felt like a pretty good lap with no assist, and then just confirming me not using assist here. But now this lap is with assist, so we're using full ABS or ABS on, you can't go in between, and we're using medium traction, not full traction, medium traction, which is what everyone is using in time trial to get good times at the top as well. So we're going to see obviously manual gears as normal, because manual is quicker, so no DRS, no rich mix, same fuel, same tyres, restarting the session. And we're going to go through this first corner now, and going to this turn in, it's not going to be too much different on this. So taking the same kind of line, take a really wide line and cutting back again, and we'll be able to see coming off this corner. Biggest thing I felt, it just feels like, say, with full throttle now, it just feels very, very easy to drive, like a lot easier with no. So you can see here we're braking, I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes later, and see the full throttle there now. Look how much earlier we're going on the full throttle. It's a lot earlier, and you'll be able to see it for the next sequence of corners as well. You can just go on a throttle just a few temps earlier, which may not seem much, but it makes a huge difference. But the thing is, with the medium traction, on the initial acceleration, it is quite slow. It doesn't pick up the revs. That's a good thing with no traction control, because there's unlimited revs. You can really control how much the wheel spin you're actually getting with this. Even though I'm going full throttle, it's not giving me the same percentage as you can see here. Fairly equal-ish, I could say a little bit earlier with there, but definitely through the first sector, coming out the first sector right, was a lot earlier on the throttle. But medium traction, it going through third or fourth gear, that's where it really picks up. You can see here, definitely later there than last lap. I'd say about 10 meters later. And again, full throttle, very, very comfortable. You can see a little squiggle between third or fourth gear. That's when the traction really releases. It lets you really control the res. But through first to third gear, it really does control the res for you, which I feel on some corners it could be a little bit slow. Because see, we've done a 138.5, so 2 temps quicker. And I didn't just jump on and do both these laps within 5 minutes. I was actually doing this track for half an hour just to not get the ultimate best lap I can, but just 2 equally good laps, and they were 2 equally clean good laps, were fast laps, felt very, very near the potential that I could do. So that's 2 tenths difference there, and obviously I didn't want to just settle with this. I wanted to go on Spain as well, just to see another 2 good laps. So this first lap, This is without assist. You can see 100 meter board we're braking there, half on this curve as we did in the time trial, and half on this curve again. A little bit of a snap there, but actually really sets that up nicely for the next corner. You can see in the throttle, it's not too difficult through here, but on this next corner, this will be a good example. So braking just before the shadow, nice. You can see the throttle, half hole, and just before we get into fifth gear, and that's when we're going to full throttle. Really attacking this apex, just carry speed through the corner. Good traction on the exit, but hopefully towards the end of the lap you'll be able to do a little better. So coming through here, a little bit cautious there because the curbs can really spit you out, so you've got to be very, very careful on the throttle. It's very difficult to go full throttle. A little bit off the throttle here as well, just because of the curbs. And going to this one, we're going to be braking just before the 100 meter board, so we'll spot that from the next lap now. As you can see, using the default, well, I am using the default setup with the hard tyres, just the standard tyres you start with in a long practice session with about 10 to 12 laps of fuel, which I did for the other one as well. So the car's pretty heavy, which I thought would make it even more interesting as well. And heavy fuel should be even more exaggerated, really, in terms of how much traction you can pick up, since the car's a little bit heavy. Coming through here, a little bit difficult on the throttle, but coming through here now, we've done a 24.9, a 124.9. Just go confirm once again that we're not using any assists this time. And this lap here now, same with the China one, with the ABS on and the medium traction, because as I said, the full traction is just not quick enough. It just lose time off corners. It just doesn't pick up the cars revs enough. So as I said, for the first to third gear, it is a little bit boggy with the medium traction, but then after that, it really does let you release it. You can see here similar braking point, but I just feel the reason why I feel this is quicker, I feel it is about 2 to 3 tenths quicker. And bearing in mind, I drive with no assists, so I haven't used assists for almost about 3 years now. So it took me a little. That's why I did quite a few laps to get used to it as well, because I'm not used to driving this. And I feel if I actually got used to this, and I could improve by another tenth or 2 tenths. So coming up here now on the throttle very, very early and going through this fast left right, we'll be able to see a little bit cautious last time. So coming into this, definitely more so, just a slight fraction, and it may not seem much, but it makes time at the end of a lap. It definitely does. And the biggest thing for me, it just felt so much easier with assists. I could brake a lot later, I can go on the throttle a lot earlier, and when you go on the throttle earlier, you don't have to worry about the car stepping out, oversteering. You don't have to worry about lockups at all, because you don't get any lockups. And I actually found this saved tyre wear, and when your tyres go off, you actually go quicker. You start to overtake the no assist drivers. They may even be quicker at the start than you, depends on the skill level, of course, but at the end when your tyres start to go off with assist, you can just keep on pumping on those laps, and it's just so much easier to be consistent. You can see here we've done a 124.7, which again was a pretty good lap as well, so I thought it was a pretty good example through both those, and just confirming. So my thoughts really, it's just a lot easier to be consistent. I feel it's probably about 2 to 3 tenths quicker, maybe more on some tracks, depending on tracks, maybe like Monaco, Singapore and other tracks. Obviously if you can corner cut some tracks and you've got assists, it's going to be even easier. So I just feel it's very, very easy to be consistent, because compared to no assist is a lot more challenging with assist. So that's just my video here today, just giving you an example of what the differences may be and how I actually feel about it. I personally feel with assist, with the ABS on and the medium traction, I feel that is quicker, not by much, but about 2 tenths or 3 tenths maybe. But don't take this video for granted. Don't take it as if this is set in stone. You know, there's a lot of factors. It could be, you know, even though the laps look pretty similar, you know, there could be a lot of differences in the lines I was taking and stuff. So this is not set in stone. But through looking at the leaderboards and trying it myself, and not just jumping on doing one lap for each one for this, actually sit on this for probably about an hour in total, just to get 2 laps from each track, which I felt were equally drivable the way I was driving at each of the laps. My consensus is that I think assists are slightly quicker. When I was testing the beta in the first build, no assists was a lot quicker with assists. It was almost a second quicker, like 8 tenths to a second quicker. So I felt they needed to really close that gap, because this game is quite challenging without assists. It's particularly challenging. It's just challenging anyway, a challenging game with assists, in fact, as well. So I felt they needed to really just close that, to just bring everyone a lot closer together. So that's why I feel really overall is quicker. And how do I feel about that in leagues? The leagues I'll be doing in, it'll be run no assist, not really too much bother for me. Makes it exciting when we do sprint races online because everyone is pretty close together, but that's just my feeling of it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what, if you think the same, if you've tested it as well, how you feel about it, just your thoughts as well, and any other thoughts for any other videos I'll be doing. I'll probably be doing a tyre wear video soon, how long you can go without, and how to actually avoid punctures as well, which is a pretty big thing, and how to save your tyres in the race, and how you drive and stuff as well. So thank you so much for the support recently on my videos. Been absolutely insane. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.
Then